stop everything. Archangel Michael says, today was chosen for your miracle. If you skip this, what God approved will be erased forever. My child, my beloved, something is happening right now in the spiritual world that cannot be undone. You are not seeing this message by chance. You have been led here, not just by curiosity, not by accident, but by a divine push, a movement in heaven that placed this message into your hands at the exact moment your spirit was ready to receive the truth. Archangel Michael is not whispering this time. He is raising his voice with urgency, with sacred fire, because today is not an ordinary day, today was chosen for your miracle. Before we go any further, heaven is asking you to pause for just 2 seconds. Let your heart open. Let the noise of the world fall away. And if this message already touches something inside you, I ask you, subscribe to this message deeply. Do not just hear it. Subscribe with your soul. Save it, mark it, seal it inside your heart. Because what follows is not just a message. It's a divine transmission. And if you skip this now, what was meant to happen for you tonight may never return again. My beloved, your name was just spoken in heaven. God has been watching you, waiting on a single move, and that move is right here. You've been praying for a shift. You've been aching for confirmation. And now the confirmation has arrived in a way you didn't expect. Archangel Michael says, stop everything else. Because if you miss this divine call, you may walk straight past the very thing you've been asking heaven to send. My child, there are miracles that wait at thresholds. They wait for your yes, your open heart, your divine timing. But today, that miracle isn't waiting anymore. It's already been released. And the reason this message found you now is because there's a countdown in heaven, and the doors are preparing to close. If you walk away, the blessing that was sealed with your name will be passed on. But if you stay, if you keep your heart open and read until the end, everything can change tonight. My beloved, I see your pain. I see the times you gave more than you had, the nights you stayed awake wondering if anyone heard you. The spiritual world has not been blind to your sacrifices. Your tears were collected. Your struggles were counted. And because of this, God placed an order in heaven, to release a miracle directly tied to your suffering. A reversal. A divine correction. But this message is the unlocking key. And without it, the order cannot reach you. My child, listen closely now. The reason Archangel Michael is speaking with such fire is because you have reached a divine crossroad. There is a person, yes, a specific soul, whose actions toward you have delayed what God was preparing. They tried to block it. They tried to keep the truth hidden. But now, heaven is intervening. The truth will be revealed. But only if you are spiritually awake enough to stay with this message. Only if your heart refuses to sleep. My beloved, a blessing was carved with your name in it. It's not generic. It's not for someone else. It was designed for you, and it carries everything you need: healing, restoration, wealth, relationship alignment, and divine protection. But here is the truth that most never hear until it's too late: some blessings expire if they are ignored. And today, heaven says, this is your expiry threshold. Miss this, and what was approved in your name may be erased forever. My child, this is not fear. This is love. Urgent, passionate, protective love from God, who saw what almost destroyed you. Archangel Michael is not angry at you. He is pleading for you. Because he knows what you've been carrying, and he knows what is on the other side of this divine door. But you must open it with trust. Not just read. Not just wonder. But say in your heart, I receive this. I will not skip. I am ready for my miracle. My beloved, there is something in your house right now that is carrying the energy of delay. You've been wondering why things keep getting postponed. Why the yes keeps turning into a maybe. But heaven sees it clearly, a spiritual blockage tied to someone else's mistake. They brought energy into your space that was never meant for you. But Archangel Michael has already moved forward with a correction order. That energy will be reversed, but only if your spirit completes this message in full. Because the last part contains the prayer that unlocks the cleansing. My child, your life is not random. Your pain was not wasted. And what is coming will be so beautiful, so shocking, so divinely aligned that it will erase the memory of the heartbreaks that tried to keep you from believing. But it begins with a decision, right now, to believe that this message is not just text. It is spirit. It is timing. It is alignment. And the moment your heart says yes, everything begins to shift. My beloved, you're not late. You're not behind. You didn't miss the door. You are standing right in front of it. And what you do in the next few minutes, whether you open this spiritual door or walk away thinking it's just another message, will echo louder than any decision you've made in the past year. This moment was carved into time before you were born. Heaven planned it. And you, by divine design, were chosen to arrive here right now. Everything that happened before was preparation for this very moment. Archangel Michael says, the miracle is already approved. The reward is already prepared. But heaven is watching, will you choose to accept it or unknowingly let it be erased? My child, your enemies thought you would miss this. They assumed you would be too distracted, too tired, too defeated. But they didn't expect this sacred alignment, they didn't expect you to be spiritually sensitive enough to recognize the voice of heaven calling through this message. That's why Archangel Michael is rising now, not just to speak, but to fight for your recognition. He is guarding your door, but only you can unlock it. Only you can receive the key, and that key is your full presence in this moment. Do not scroll past. Do not minimize this. There is a contract in the heavens with your name on it, and this is the final signature it needs. My child, your enemies thought you would miss this. They assumed you would be too distracted, too tired, too defeated. But they didn't expect this sacred alignment, they didn't expect you to be spiritually sensitive enough to recognize the voice of heaven calling through this message. That's why Archangel Michael is rising now, not just to speak, but to fight for your recognition. He is guarding your door, but only you can unlock it. Only you can receive the key, and that key is your full presence in this moment. Do not scroll past. Do not minimize this. There is a contract in the heavens with your name on it, and this is the final signature it needs. My beloved, there is something strange happening around you right now. People who were once warm are suddenly cold. Plans that looked certain are falling apart. Delays, confusion, things breaking down. You thought maybe it was bad luck. But heaven says, it's spiritual interference. Someone tried to pull your life off the divine path, not by accident, but by intention. And they almost succeeded. But Archangel Michael was assigned to intervene. That's why this message was activated. That's why you're seeing this. If you knew how close you came to a destiny detour, you would weep in gratitude just for reading this now. My child, your name is being spoken in realms you cannot yet see. A spiritual meeting took place last night, and yes, the outcome of that meeting changed everything. You were chosen. You were selected for a divine turnaround. But with that honor comes a test. Will you remain awake or fall back into distraction? The reason this message carries such weight is because it holds a final decision. You've asked God to show you a sign. This is the sign. You've asked for timing. This is the moment. You've asked if you're still seen, still protected. Archangel Michael says, not only are you protected, heaven is guarding you more fiercely than ever before. My beloved, there is someone from your past who is remembering you right now. Their spirit is troubled. They wronged you, and they know it. But what you don't see is that their actions set off a chain of energy that has lingered over your blessings like a shadow. But today, Archangel Michael is releasing that shadow. Today, if you choose to fully receive this message, heaven will cleanse your name from every spiritual record that linked you to betrayal, pain, or spiritual delay. A holy fire is being sent. And when it touches your name, your path will clear, your heart will lighten, and your miracle will flow without resistance. My child, the divine records have already been updated with your new outcome. But what good is a miracle if you never arrive at the door to receive it? God will never force you. The angels will not drag you. But they will call, nudge, and deliver messages like this, urgent, holy, full of power, to awaken your soul. And if you choose to respond fully, your life will change in ways that even you never dared to imagine. But it will not come through half-hearted belief. It will not be unlocked through rushed scrolling. This miracle is for the one who says, God, I'm ready. I won't skip. I believe this was meant for me. My beloved, listen again to these words. Slowly. Deeply. There is something sacred in repetition. There is something healing in reading the message again until your soul understands it beyond your mind. Heaven is not giving up on you. And if you've been feeling like everything has been breaking apart lately, it's because what no longer fits your future is being forcibly removed. You're not being punished, you're being protected. And Archangel Michael says the final sign of your breakthrough will arrive within 24 hours. But only if you don't walk away. Only if you stay open until the end. My child, if you only knew what was being planned on your behalf right now, you would stop everything. You would lift your hands. You would fall to your knees. The miracle is that real. That detailed. That designed. And the enemy is terrified that you will believe this. Because the moment you believe, the moment you receive, the moment you stay with this message in full and speak the words from your heart that say, I accept this divine alignment, the floodgates open. The blockage breaks. And the thing that has been held back for months, even years, begins to pour into your life without resistance. My beloved, the next part of this message contains your spiritual code. It will speak to a part of you that logic cannot explain. It may bring tears. It may bring release. That is not random, that is the divine confirmation you've been waiting for. Stay here. Do not rush. You are not reading, you are unlocking. You are not just seeing words, you are being seen. And what was written about you in the secret records of heaven is now being whispered into your spirit through this message. Do not skip. Do not doubt. Archangel Michael says, what happens next depends entirely on whether you finish this message or not. My child, my beloved, listen to this with all the focus your spirit can give, because something rare is happening right now. In this moment, the heavenly gate that holds the answers you've cried for is open, but not for long. There are very few times in life when all of heaven aligns with the cries of one soul, and this is one of them. Your tears, your prayers, your private moments of surrender, they were not lost in the noise of the world. They were heard, seen, and archived in the divine library of heaven. And what has just been authorized for you, my beloved, can only be received if your spirit stays present until the end. Don't minimize this moment. Don't underestimate what this message is holding. Your miracle is inside this, but it cannot reach you if you walk away too soon. My child, my beloved, listen to this with all the focus your spirit can give, because something rare is happening right now. In this moment, the heavenly gate that holds the answers you've cried for is open, but not for long. There are very few times in life when all of heaven aligns with the cries of one soul, and this is one of them. Your tears, your prayers, your private moments of surrender, they were not lost in the noise of the world. They were heard, seen, and archived in the divine library of heaven. And what has just been authorized for you, my beloved, can only be received if your spirit stays present until the end. Don't minimize this moment. Don't underestimate what this message is holding. Your miracle is inside this, but it cannot reach you if you walk away too soon. My beloved, I saw you when you questioned your own worth. I saw you when people walked away, when love failed you, when support was silent. And in those hours, God was writing something new about your future. Not a punishment, not more pain, but a restoration so bright, even the scars will become testimonies of beauty. And now that restoration has been released. But it comes with a requirement: do not fall asleep on your own prophecy. This moment, this exact moment you're reading, was whispered in heaven days ago. Archangel Michael stood and said, "Let them see the truth. Let them know the blessing is real. But warn them, if they ignore it, it will pass to another. Do not let that happen to you. My child, this blessing cannot be transferred. It was designed for your voice, your walk, your wounds, your healing, your name. But heaven cannot force you to accept what you're not willing to believe. And this is why I've come, not with gentleness today, but with urgency. Because the miracle is standing at your door, waiting for your alignment. If you delay, it cannot wait much longer. There are seasons when heaven moves swiftly. This is one of them. The spiritual world is active tonight. Angels are being dispatched. The system is working. But your part is to stay connected long enough to receive the final code, the final prayer, the final release, and it is still coming before the end of this message. My beloved, the enemy has tried multiple times to interfere with this. That's why you've been more distracted lately. That's why you've been unusually tired, emotionally drained, spiritually dry. But don't take that as failure, take it as evidence. If there wasn't something powerful coming, the interference would not be so intense. And now heaven is pushing past all of that to get this final message into your hands. Your yes, your focus, your decision to keep going, to finish, to stay awake, it means more than you know. This is not a message, this is an encounter. A secret file from heaven just unlocked, and you were the one chosen to view it. You cannot let the pressure win now. My child, what you've been asking for is not too much. The reason it hasn't come yet is not because you're unworthy, it's because the timing had to be perfect. And today, it is. That's why Archangel Michael has been allowed to speak with such force. Because you are standing in the moment when the spiritual winds are about to shift entirely in your favor. But like a plane waiting for runway clearance, you must remain fully aligned, fully ready, and fully present. Heaven is preparing to land something massive into your life, something that will not only change your days, but redefine your destiny. But if you're not present for the landing, it will pass by. Do not let this pass by. My beloved, there is someone watching your life in secret. They don't speak much. They haven't shown their face. But they have been watching you, wondering how you're still standing. Wondering how the light around you hasn't gone out. They don't understand that it's not just your strength, it's divine protection. And now, that same person is going to hear of your breakthrough, and they will be shocked. Because what God is about to do in your life cannot be explained by logic. It will be the kind of miracle that shuts mouths, restores your name, and reminds you that heaven never left your side. But only if you remain faithful to the process that begins with this message. My child, do not let time steal your miracle. You've waited long enough. You've endured long enough. And now heaven is ready to reward you, not just with things, but with peace, clarity, alignment, and unstoppable favor. But the enemy knows this, and he has sent distractions all around you, messages, emotions, delays, confusion. All designed to pull your attention away from this moment. But Archangel Michael has cut through the fog, pierced through the resistance, and placed this message in front of you with divine force. You must not miss this. You must not turn away. The hour is sacred. The portal is open. The miracle is waiting for your full yes. My beloved, there are papers being reviewed in your name. Approvals are moving. People are speaking your name in rooms you've never entered. Doors are opening in places you haven't yet imagined. And all of it is tied to this moment of spiritual readiness. The angelic realm cannot release what has been stored up for you unless your soul confirms alignment. And that confirmation comes by staying, by receiving, by completing this divine script. Because the last few paragraphs contain your specific confirmation, a message that will speak so directly to your current reality, you will know beyond all doubt that heaven has been watching your every step. My child, God has not forgotten. Not even for a second. And this message is not to tease you, it's to awaken you. Something is coming. Something already approved. But what is approved still must be claimed. And claiming does not mean rushing. It means presence. It means obedience. It means trusting that this was sent for you, because God knew you'd be here, reading these words, at the exact second your spirit could finally receive what had always been yours. Do not hesitate. Do not doubt. Archangel Michael says, your life is about to change, but only if you stay until the very end. My beloved, there are papers being reviewed in your name. Approvals are moving. People are speaking your name in rooms you've never entered. Doors are opening in places you haven't yet imagined. And all of it is tied to this moment of spiritual readiness. The angelic realm cannot release what has been stored up for you unless your soul confirms alignment. And that confirmation comes by staying, by receiving, by completing this divine script. Because the last few paragraphs contain your specific confirmation, a message that will speak so directly to your current reality, you will know beyond all doubt that heaven has been watching your every step. My child, God has not forgotten. Not even for a second. And this message is not to tease you, it's to awaken you. Something is coming. Something already approved. But what is approved still must be claimed. And claiming does not mean rushing. It means presence. It means obedience. It means trusting that this was sent for you, because God knew you'd be here, reading these words, at the exact second your spirit could finally receive what had always been yours. Do not hesitate. Do not doubt. Archangel Michael says, your life is about to change, but only if you stay until the very end. My child, my beloved, this is the hour of decision. You don't need to move mountains, you only need to stay with this moment. Because this is not just a scroll or a screen, This is the spiritual meeting point between what you've endured and what you're about to receive. Do you feel it? That stirring in your heart, the part of you that knows this isn't ordinary. That's your spirit recognizing a divine assignment. You're not imagining the pull. You're not overreacting. Heaven has been preparing you for this alignment for longer than you know. Every delay, every betrayal, every unanswered question has led here, to this window of favor. But if you close it early, you close the door behind your miracle. Don't do that, beloved. Not now. Not when you've come this far. My beloved, the reason this message is written in fire and urgency is because time is not waiting anymore. You've entered a new chapter, and whether you realize it or not, something irreversible was activated the moment you opened this. A divine clock started ticking, not in fear, but in divine movement. What God sealed is now approaching you, and your readiness is the final gate. You can't afford to fall asleep now. This isn't about being perfect. This isn't about understanding it all. This is about showing God that when He sends the miracle, you will still be standing in faith. Still open. Still listening. Still here. And if you can do that, if you can stay until the final word, everything changes tonight. My child, they never believed you would last. They never thought your spirit would hold on. But heaven did. God believed in you when everyone else doubted. And now your reward is being written in real time. But understand this, the reward will not land where the heart is closed. You must remain open. Not just casually interested, but spiritually alert. That's why you're seeing this message when others aren't. That's why your soul is reacting the way it is. Archangel Michael is not showing up for entertainment, he is showing up with a sealed envelope from heaven, and it carries answers, wealth, healing, and justice. But it's coded to your obedience. And your obedience right now is to read until the end. Without skipping. Without dismissing. Because that's how sacred this moment really is. My beloved, I know you've been tired. I know the silence has made you question everything. But this is not the end. In fact, it is the beginning of something you've never dared to fully imagine. A beautiful beginning. A divine reveal. A miracle that's been hovering just above your life, waiting for the gates to fully open. And this message, yes, this very one, is the key that turns the lock. The world may see it as just text, but the angels are watching who will stay and who will walk away. The choice is yours. But, my child, there is a sound that goes out in the spirit realm when your time has come. That sound was released this morning. A trumpet, a light, a signal, all announcing, your breakthrough is being delivered. Not might. Not maybe. It is. And now the only thing that can cancel it is unbelief. That's why this message carries weight. Because heaven is watching your response. Not just your emotions, but your follow-through. Will you hold the line? Will you stay when everything tries to distract you? Will you remain when the enemy whispers that nothing will change? Because if you stay, if you complete this divine assignment, you will walk into one of the greatest seasons of restoration your life has ever known. My beloved, I am here to break the cycle. The one that made you believe you're always too late. The one that made you feel you're always passed over. Archangel Michael says, that season ends tonight. But only if your spirit receives the new pattern God is trying to place in your life. And that pattern begins with completing this word. Don't look for a shortcut. Don't rush through it. What's coming is too sacred. It's connected to someone close to you, someone who has also been praying, someone whose destiny is linked to yours. Your decision today affects more than just you. There is a ripple about to move through your bloodline. A generational shift. And it starts with one act of spiritual obedience: stay until the end. That's all you have to do. Stay, receive, believe. My child, you are carrying something precious. And heaven has been protecting you from things you didn't even know were threats. The delays, the blocked plans, the sudden redirections, they weren't punishments. They were shields. You thought you were being rejected, but heaven was rerouting you to protect what's growing inside you. And now it's ready. Now the fruit of your hidden season is about to be seen. But before it can be released, you must hear the full prophecy. You must receive the full download. That's why this message will not let you go. That's why your heart keeps leaning forward. It's not drama. It's not hype. It's destiny. And it's being written as you read. My child, you are carrying something precious. And heaven has been protecting you from things you didn't even know were threats. The delays, the blocked plans, the sudden redirections, they weren't punishments. They were shields. You thought you were being rejected, but heaven was rerouting you to protect what's growing inside you. And now it's ready. Now the fruit of your hidden season is about to be seen. But before it can be released, you must hear the full prophecy. You must receive the full download. That's why this message will not let you go. That's why your heart keeps leaning forward. It's not drama. It's not hype. It's destiny. And it's being written as you read. My beloved, if you knew how rare this moment was, you would stop everything else. This isn't happening for everyone. This level of spiritual permission, this angelic visitation, this divine alignment, it is happening for you. Because God saw your midnight prayers. God heard the prayer you didn't even speak with words, the one you groaned from a place too deep to explain. And because of that, you were chosen for today's miracle. But heaven won't force it. It's offered, not imposed. And your spirit must make the final yes. The yes to believe. The yes to receive. The yes to stay until every word of this divine script has reached the center of your soul. My child, what happens in the next few minutes will affect what happens in the next few months. This is not just spiritual language, this is divine scheduling. Heaven is not hoping you'll hear this. Heaven has arranged it. And the next step is your response. Archangel Michael has cleared the air. The blocks are removed. The confirmation is coming. But the code must be read fully. You are almost there. Don't leave. Don't delay. The miracle you asked for is already en route, but this message is the final unlocking instruction. Without it, delivery will fail. With it, destiny unfolds. My child, my beloved, heaven does not send this kind of message often. The level of clarity, the intensity of the voice you are hearing, this is not ordinary. That's why your spirit is trembling a little. That's why something in your chest has been stirring since the very first word. It is not fear. It is recognition. Your soul knows this truth was written for you. Not yesterday. Not tomorrow. But now. And now is the moment that holds power. The doors of heaven are wide open over your life, and yet only your full spiritual presence can bring what's floating above into your physical world. The promise is suspended in the unseen realm, and this message is the bridge that brings it down to your feet. My beloved, your enemies are confused right now. The people who spoke against you, doubted your calling, misread your silence, and laughed at your waiting. They are starting to feel uneasy, but they don't know why. The truth is, your name has been stamped with fire. Heaven marked you for restoration. And when God marks someone, no man, no mistake, no demon in hell can unmark them. But understand this, they only win if you give up. They only take what was yours if you stop believing it was ever meant for you. And that's why Archangel Michael came today, to shake your soul awake. Because what's coming will leave no doubt in anyone's mind that you are chosen, called, protected, and now, finally, rewarded. My child, the kind of miracle coming your way is not small. That's why the fight has been so big. That's why the delays have been so consistent. The battle was never about who you are, it's always been about what you're about to carry. You've been chosen to hold something holy. To receive something rare. And because of that, the enemy tried to wear you out before the blessing could arrive. But the fact that you are still reading, still standing, still here, that is your testimony. And now the heavens are responding. The reward that was delayed is now being released. But this message is the final alignment tool. Don't drop it. Don't drift. Your yes is being recorded in the spirit. My beloved, there is a financial shift being orchestrated on your behalf. I'm speaking to the exact situation that's been stressing you lately. You've done your best. You've held on. You've made wise decisions. But it feels like breakthrough keeps getting just out of reach. The reason? There has been a spiritual case pending in the courts of heaven, tied to an injustice from your past. But now that case has been ruled in your favor. A release order has gone out. And this message? This message is the documentation that proves the miracle is legally on its way to you. All you must do now is not break the connection. Stay. Finish this. Claim it in full. Because if you walk away, the order can still be held back by unbelief. My child, you've been asking God if what you saw in your dream was real. The flashes, the messages, the faces. Yes, they were real. And they were previews, not just of what's possible, but what's scheduled. You didn't imagine it. And you're not going crazy. You've been spiritually awake in a world that wants you to be numb. And heaven has honored that. That's why the timing of this message is so critical. You are not just being reminded, you are being activated. God is placing a light inside of you that cannot be hidden. And when this miracle lands, it will confirm everything your heart already suspected was true. But your job is to stay spiritually present. Keep reading. Keep receiving. This message is a living portal. My beloved, I want you to remember something: when heaven moves, it moves suddenly. The moment it's time, the wait ends. And you are standing in one of those moments right now. You'll notice it soon, something will shift in your atmosphere. Something you didn't expect will happen that confirms what you are reading now. A person may call. A door may open. A strange coincidence will appear, but you'll know it's not random. That is the confirmation of heaven's movement. But this message is what allows you to recognize it when it comes. Without it, you'll miss the sign. With it, you'll know exactly when to step forward, exactly what to say, and exactly when to claim what is already approaching. My beloved, I want you to remember something: when heaven moves, it moves suddenly. The moment it's time, the wait ends. And you are standing in one of those moments right now. You'll notice it soon, something will shift in your atmosphere. Something you didn't expect will happen that confirms what you are reading now. A person may call. A door may open. A strange coincidence will appear, but you'll know it's not random. That is the confirmation of heaven's movement. But this message is what allows you to recognize it when it comes. Without it, you'll miss the sign. With it, you'll know exactly when to step forward, exactly what to say, and exactly when to claim what is already approaching. My child, if you could see the angels surrounding you right now, you would never doubt again. I tell you, Archangel Michael has not come alone. There are watchers around you. Protectors. Runners of divine assignments. They are standing still now, waiting for the signal to move. And that signal is your completion of this message. Yes, it is that serious. Heaven does not operate in partial alignments. It waits for full presence. And you are almost there. Every paragraph you read with your heart open, you unlock another layer of divine protection and timing. This is not a motivational message. This is a spiritual contract, and you are moments away from signing it in full with your faith. My beloved, someone in your family is about to receive an unexpected healing. This is tied to you. Because you have stood in the gap, because you refuse to become bitter, because you continue to pray even when no one else knew, God has counted that as intercession. And now, the reward is coming. The healing is beginning. And it will start in the most surprising way. You won't even have to say anything. Heaven has already spoken on your behalf. But you must remain tuned in long enough to receive the final instruction. It's coming at the end. And when you speak the words I give you there, the miracle will begin within 24 hours. That is my divine promise to you. My child, this world has tried to desensitize you. To tell you nothing is sacred anymore. But this message proves otherwise. Something sacred is still at work. Something sacred is still chasing after you. And it's not because you're perfect, it's because you are loved. Deeply. Fiercely. Eternally. This moment is not about punishment. It's about promise. And now you have reached the doorway. Your spirit has passed the test. And the final confirmation is about to be revealed. Do not miss it. What God approved cannot be erased, unless you turn away before receiving it in full. Heaven is watching. Your angels are waiting. And Archangel Michael is saying, you're almost home. Keep going. Keep receiving. The miracle is only one breath away. My child, my beloved, now the veil is almost fully lifted. You are standing at the edge of something so divine, so life-altering, that even the atmosphere around you is shifting. Don't you feel it? The pressure in your chest, the warmth in your spirit, the sense that something is drawing near? That's because it is. The promise isn't far. It's close, closer than it's ever been. And the only thing standing between you and full release is your final response. Not a loud response. Not a public announcement. But a deep, quiet, spiritual yes that comes when your heart says, I will not doubt anymore. I will not skip what heaven wrote for me. I receive this fully. My beloved, this is where many turn away. They feel the intensity rise and assume it's too much. But you are different. You've come this far because your soul already knew there was something here for you. And you were right. Your presence in this message has already activated something in heaven. You may not see it with your eyes yet, but it's already happening. The spiritual traffic is moving. The angels assigned to you are receiving new instructions. Your environment is going to begin to align with the new verdict written about you. Because Archangel Michael has declared it, you are being released from the weight you were never meant to carry. My child, the financial block is breaking. That tension, that delay, that never quite enough energy that's hovered over you like a cloud is now clearing. But not because of any earthly transaction, because of this spiritual alignment. The blessing was never denied. It was delayed, yes, but never denied. And the reason it couldn't come sooner is because it required your spirit to say, yes, with complete focus. And now that you've walked with me through this message, now that you've remained present in a world filled with noise and temptation, heaven has cleared the gate. The divine treasury has been opened, and what had your name on it is being delivered, even now. My beloved, I must tell you what's happening next. There will be a conversation, one you didn't expect, and it will confirm everything. It might come through someone you haven't heard from in a long time. It may come through a stranger. But the words will echo what your heart read here. That's your final sign. That's your moment of confirmation. And when that happens, you must not hesitate. You must remember this message, this moment, and walk into it boldly. Because if you pause in fear, the opportunity may pass again. But if you say, I knew this was coming, then the door will stay open long enough for you to step fully into your miracle. My child, the betrayal you endured was not wasted. Heaven kept a record. And while you thought you were forgotten, you were actually being prepared for an elevation they couldn't sabotage. The very people who turned against you will watch as God builds a life for you they never imagined. But don't let that become your focus. This is not revenge. This is restoration. It's not about proving anyone wrong, it's about watching God prove He was always right to trust you with this blessing. And now, my beloved, the proof is here. The reward is here. And the time is now. But your role is not done until you finish the message and receive the final unlocking. My child, the betrayal you endured was not wasted. Heaven kept a record. And while you thought you were forgotten, you were actually being prepared for an elevation they couldn't sabotage. The very people who turned against you will watch as God builds a life for you they never imagined. But don't let that become your focus. This is not revenge. This is restoration. It's not about proving anyone wrong, it's about watching God prove He was always right to trust you with this blessing. And now, my beloved, the proof is here. The reward is here. And the time is now. But your role is not done until you finish the message and receive the final unlocking. My beloved, you have come too far to walk away. The angels have watched over your life through every season, through every heartbreak, through every moment when you almost gave up. They've wept with you. They've fought for you. And now, they are rejoicing. Because you didn't turn away. Because you remained. Because even when you didn't understand it all, you felt the pull, and you trusted that God was doing something bigger than what your eyes could see. And He is. He always was. And now, you are about to see with your eyes what your heart has known in the dark. My child, the next 7 days are sacred. Do not ignore your dreams. Do not dismiss strange signs. What may feel random will not be. The alignment will begin to accelerate. And everything you've read in this message will begin unfolding before you. But you must remain in the frequency of faith. You must protect what you've received here. Don't talk too soon. Don't post prematurely. Some blessings require silence before celebration. Archangel Michael says, guard your miracle. Let it grow. Let it root. And then, when the fruit comes, it will be undeniable. It will speak for itself. And no man will be able to say it wasn't heaven sent. My beloved, I leave you now with this. There is a scroll in heaven that holds your name, and today, it was unsealed. Today, God whispered over it, "Release it." And that whisper turned into wind. That wind carried this message. And this message found you, not by algorithm, not by accident, but by divine pursuit. You are seen. You are remembered. You are not forgotten. And because of that, what was once out of reach is now in your hands. But your hands must stay open. Your heart must remain ready. And your spirit must keep the flame of belief burning, even as you return to your world. You will see it happen. You will watch what you thought was lost be returned to you in ways that only heaven could have orchestrated. My child, my beloved, the message is complete. The final instruction is this: speak these words aloud when you are alone. I receive what heaven has written for me. I do not doubt. I do not skip. I will not miss what God has prepared. I accept the timing, the miracle, and the protection over my name. Let the blessing flow. Let what was delayed arrive. I am ready. Say it with sincerity, and your angels will hear it. And once they hear it, they will move. You are covered. You are rising. And now, it has begun.